Roman Reigns went from being on top of the world and destroying everyone in his path to literally watching his world crumble before his very eyes. How is everyone doing? I am D Loves Wrestling, and today we are going to be talking about the triple threat main event for night one of WrestleMania 41. And we had a fantastic segment between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and also CM Punk. And the main focus of this entire match, this entire main event, this entire build-up for this story, which is Paul Heyman. This is all about Paul Heyman. And the superstar who's getting the short end of the stick of this entire story is now Roman Reigns. It seemed like Seth Rollins was the odd man out if we just go back to 3 weeks ago. Now it seems like Seth Rollins is the main contributor of this build as we got to the very end of it. Seth Rollins seemed like the odd man out. He wasn't really adding any type of factor to the build, because he had no affiliation with Paul Heyman. He really had no confrontation with Paul. Seth Rollins has his issues against CM Punk and Roman Reigns, but that was really it. Now that Seth Rollins has made his presence known in this feud, in my opinion, Seth Rollins is one or two. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they can trade positions on who means the most in this triple threat match. And I gotta say it, and I'm a Roman Reigns fan, Roman Reigns seems like the underdog and the man in third place in this entire feud. And isn't that strange when Paul Heyman is really still the wise man to Roman Reigns? Shouldn't Roman Reigns be the X factor in this match? But no, it seems like Seth Rollins has really made it known that he is manipulating both CM Punk and Roman Reigns over the course of the last few weeks, and CM Punk is chilling. He knows he has Paul Heyman by his side when WrestleMania 41 arrives. But who's the odd man out now? It's not Seth Rollins anymore. He's made his presence known. Roman Reigns is just left in the dust, not just from Paul Heyman, but by CM Punk and also Seth Rollins. By CM Punk taking Paul Heyman away from Roman Reigns, but now it's Seth Rollins being the main catalyst of this feud when it comes to the last 2 to 3 weeks, as Seth Rollins, he's getting into everyone's head. He's getting into Paul Heyman's head, and he's getting into Roman Reigns' head. We literally saw in this segment on this past Monday Night Raw where Roman Reigns literally admitted that Seth Rollins is right. And when was the last time we seen Roman Reigns actually acknowledge that someone else is right? He can actually take advice from someone else, let alone Seth Rollins, the man who turned on him 10 years ago, broke up the Shield, was wanted to tear down anything revolving with Roman Reigns over the last 10 years. So the fact that Roman Reigns actually admitted that Seth Rollins was right when it came to Seth Rollins explaining the real situation between Paul Heyman and CM Punk. Even though Roman Reigns still agreed with Seth Rollins, you know he doesn't like him still. So you know Roman Reigns had to take a jab at Seth Rollins, sending Seth Rollins to the floor. But then Paul Heyman was all happy, and then Roman Reigns shoves Paul Heyman to the ground. And the crowd was in shock, but can you blame Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns is now the ultimate underdog. I thought Roman Reigns was going to be the top dog. Easy. I thought he was going to be the favorite to win this match. Now they're making it seem like it's either going to be Punk or Rollins. Roman Reigns, I don't see winning this match. And if he does, I feel like it's going to be some type of huge moment. They're going to throw some type of curveball in here. I don't even have a reasoning of what that curveball might be for the ending of this match. I don't see Roman Reigns as the top dog in this match anymore. And I feel like they're kind of purposely doing that, but if we saw on Roman Reigns' Instagram or X or wherever he did post it, he recorded a video and he posted it on all of his social medias, and he was saying how a year ago, Roman Reigns was on top of the world. He had WWE in a chokehold. No one was topping Roman Reigns. Now we go to a year later. He's lost the Bloodline. He's lost Jimmy Uso. He's lost Solo Sikoa. In the timeline of the year, he did lose the Ula Fala. He got it back, but he did lose it at one point. And now he's losing his wise man. Roman Reigns has done nothing but loss after loss after loss of the course of this last year. I'm not saying he's lost matches, but he's lost things that are bigger than matches. People, his family. He's losing his wise man. He lost Jimmy Uso. He had to team up with CM Punk when he didn't even want to. If you take a look at this last year compared to Roman Reigns during his ultimate title reign as WWE champion, this is a major letdown for Roman Reigns. Being on top of the world and the face of the company, and not saying that Roman isn't the face of the company at this point, it's hard to argue it's either Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns who's the face of the company, but I think it's more favoring towards Cody is the face of the company. If you just backtrack a little bit over a year ago, I think Roman Reigns had that edge a little over a year ago over Cody Rhodes, but now I don't think it's a question. I think Cody Rhodes is undoubtedly the face of the company. It's crazy. I know Roman Reigns probably made that video and he posted it online, obviously to go a part of the storyline, I feel like, to make him this underdog, but I feel like there was a lot of truth to what Roman was saying in that video that he posted online. I don't think a lot of people are thinking it that way. If you really take a look at it, this whole entire year for Roman Reigns has been a major letdown. I know we're comparing a generational run to this past year, but we have to admit Roman Reigns has lost everything. He doesn't have that it factor if we're comparing it to his generational run as the WWE champion. And I feel like that's completely normal. Like, Roman Reigns was on top of the professional wrestling world as WWE champion. He had the 1,316-day title reign. I mean, you can't really replicate that. That is a once-in-a-lifetime run for any professional wrestler. That is ungodly like. But what Roman was explaining in the video is that, damn, like, I'm really, like, what has happened to me? What has happened? Why am I in this position right now? And what I really like is that Roman Reigns isn't blaming Solo Sikoa for why he's in the position that he's in, or Cody Rhodes. He's not blaming Cody Rhodes for beating him at WrestleMania 40, and that led to him being in the position that he's in right now. No, Roman Reigns is taking full ownership of why he's in the position that he's in and why he's losing everyone around him. And you have to give credit to Roman because over the course of the last few years, Roman is this egotistical, narcissistic character where even if he does wrong, Roman Reigns still does no wrong, if that makes any sense. I love the ending angle of what they did with this triple threat storyline. I like that Seth Rollins is being a powerful figure in this story when, if we go back just a month ago, Seth Rollins was kind of just there. He was just in the ring during the segments with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. At least me personally, me looking back at those segments with all three of them a month ago, I really thought it was just about Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and Seth Rollins is just there for some visual entertainment, him laughing and doing whatever Seth Rollins does. But I love it. I love that everyone is getting their opportunity to shine in this story. And it's crazy how Paul Heyman is the main catalyst of this entire story, and they somehow involved Seth Rollins to make sense when it comes to being affiliated with Paul Heyman. He made his statement by potentially ending Paul Heyman's career by stopping him in the middle of the ring, but he stopped because he saw an opportunity. He saw something that he could get out of Paul Heyman, just like CM Punk did when it came to War Games by getting a favor for teaming up with the Bloodline. Who's the one who's not using Paul Heyman and genuinely loves Paul Heyman? Roman Reigns. And who's getting the short end of the stick of this entire story? Roman Reigns. Why should Roman Reigns have to suffer for Paul Heyman's decision to owing CM Punk a favor? That has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns didn't want Paul Heyman to even get CM Punk for War Games. He didn't want Paul Heyman to go against his will and say, look, Punk, I need you so badly. I will accept any favor that you need from me. Roman Reigns had nothing to do with that. He didn't want CM Punk. He made that very clear. So the fact that Paul Heyman went ahead and still said, hey, Punk, I need you a part of this team. I'll do anything. Whatever you say, come down the road. I will do anything. I will say yes, whatever you need, Punk. Now, if you're Roman Reigns in this situation, you got to look at that and be like, dude, what is going on here? Like, you're my wise man. Why are you going around and going to your ex-best friends and being like, hey, I owe you a favor. You know, I'll do whatever you say. That's not what a true wise man does. And Roman Reigns seeing this situation, I mean, you saw it on this past Monday Night Raw. Paul Heyman and Punk are talking before Roman Reigns arrives. He arrives in the arena and he sees Paul Heyman and CM Punk chatting, and it's almost as if you're catching your partner cheating on you. It was so cool how they did that because you really felt it. You really felt the betrayal that Roman Reigns was feeling in that moment as Roman Reigns witnessed Paul Heyman and CM Punk sitting next to each other and chatting. Even though Paul Heyman was waiting for Roman Reigns to arrive in the arena, but you know Roman Reigns has just had enough of this petty, oh, he's my best friend, I owe him a favor type stuff. Like, dude, you didn't need to give out or hand out any favors to even begin with. So the fact that you were even offering that when we didn't even need CM Punk, that's on Paul Heyman. That has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. And for Roman Reigns to see Paul Heyman accepting these favors when he didn't need to in the first place, he didn't even need to hand it out to begin with, you gotta feel bad for Roman Reigns. And you can't blame Roman for acting the way he's acting right now. He doesn't understand it because it shouldn't happen to begin with. It shouldn't happen that Paul Heyman is feeling against his will because he has to betray Roman Reigns to walk down WrestleMania 41 with CM Punk. That was Paul Heyman's decision. He could still say no. He's not being pushed against the wall and being forced to do anything. This is Paul Heyman wanting to be a man of his word and doing whatever CM Punk wanted him to do. And we know Paul Heyman. This is the guy who literally created ECW and has turned on CM Punk in the past. We know Paul Heyman can lie. He can manipulate his own situation in himself. The fact that he's playing this really innocent and really scared character right now makes me believe that Paul Heyman, he's up to something. And I believe at the end of this, I don't think any of the three men in this triple threat match are going to be the real winners. I think Paul Heyman is going to be the real winner. Whether he's walking away with Seth Rollins, he's walking away with CM Punk, he's walking away with still his tribal chief, Roman Reigns, I don't know. I don't see any superstar getting the happy ending. Like, as much as Roman Reigns, he's watching everything just crumble in front of him. Everyone's leaving him. He's doing nothing wrong. Roman's not forcing anyone away in this particular situation. Paul Heyman is just handing out favors, and who's not getting a favor? The wise man's tribal chief. He's not asking for anything. He appreciates Paul Heyman, and maybe that's Roman Reigns' fault for having too much trust in Paul Heyman. When we know Paul Heyman could be pretty sneaky. I mean, he's turned on several people in the past, and maybe Roman Reigns is next. I mean, we're kind of getting signs of Paul Heyman betraying Roman Reigns just by Paul Heyman accepting these favors and handing them out to begin with. Isn't that kind of already betrayal, just handing out favors that you're willing to obey other people's orders when you have a tribal chief? Like, I don't know. So we witnessed the last segment of this entire triple threat match. WrestleMania is literally right around the corner. We ended it off with Roman Reigns looking like the ultimate underdog here. We know CM Punk, he has Paul Heyman in his corner. He's walking down WrestleMania with Paul Heyman. CM Punk, he's getting his favor. He's having Paul Heyman with him, and he's main eventing WrestleMania 41. So CM Punk, he's set. He's good. Like, he's not asking for anything else, and he's happy with his situation. Seth Rollins started this out as just the odd man out, and he's just thrown into this match to now literally being one of the main focal points of this entire triple threat match. Now we got Roman Reigns, who is being belittled in the past two segments. CM Punk ended the final segment that we had between all three of them by GTSing him, and it looked like CM Punk was going to end Monday Night Raw standing strong, but then Seth Rollins comes in and attacks CM Punk, and we got Seth Rollins looking like the dominant superstar in this match. And of course, we have Paul Heyman on the floor just looking at what's going on between his tribal chief getting demolished, his best friend getting demolished as well. And to be honest, Roman Reigns is just getting belittled by absolutely everyone in this entire story. Like, Paul Heyman is leaving him. CM Punk is taking Roman Reigns' wise man away from him. Yes, CM Punk genuinely wants Paul Heyman right by his side in the main event of WrestleMania, but he also has the evil intention as well. He's doing it purposely to get a rise out of Roman Reigns. And then Seth Rollins, as always, playing mind games with Roman Reigns, trying to get Roman to turn on Paul Heyman, and it kind of worked in this final segment as we saw Roman Reigns shoving Paul Heyman. In all of this, Roman Reigns has just let his guard down. Roman has let his guard down this entire year, and it's starting to show. I hope when it's time for the main event, Roman Reigns, wins, he ships back into gear, and he does come out on top. I'm absolutely stoked. I can't wait for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. Let me know down in the comments below, who do you got for this big triple threat match? Do you have CM Punk? Will he be walking away with Paul Heyman to end off his first ever WrestleMania main event? Do you have the visionary, the architect Seth Rollins? Will he be taking Paul Heyman at the end of the night and coming out on top? Or do you have the tribal chief, our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, coming out on top? And if Roman does win, will he be winning on his own? Will he be coming out on top without Paul Heyman? I don't know. There's so many different scenarios with this match in particular. You could go so many different ways. Do we see Brock Lesnar come back? Like, that's a whole nother topic. It could be a video all in itself. But there are so many different ways that they can make this match end, and I am so eager to watch this main event. I gotta say, this is probably my most anticipated match to watch when it comes to this WrestleMania weekend. I love every superstar in it. I felt like this is one of the best stories that they had built up for this WrestleMania. This WrestleMania, it was, in some parts, it was very lackluster with the builds, but I felt like this triple threat match was very organic, so natural, how it just was brought up and how it came to life. And it makes sense. It wasn't a forced match, in my opinion. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.